So which tool you use to do the installation?
SWPM.
SWPM, right? Software Provisioning Manager.
SWP.
So what are the softwares you need to install? NetWeaver 7.4 or NetWeaver 7.5, ECC6, whatever the SAP software, you need these softwares. You need these softwares. One is SWPM, Software Provisioning Manager. That is the old name for SWPM is what? SAP Installation Master. Now that SAP Installation Master is renamed and changed everything. It comes with Software Provisioning Manager. All provisioning activities you can do by using SWPM. Then you need a database server. For example, you are installing Oracle database or HANA database, anything. You have to install that database software. And database client, to connect to that server, you need to install database client and SAP Hostagent, a new software, IGS exe.sar, IGS helper.sar, SAP exe.sar, SAP exedb.sar. You know these two things. SAP exe.sar contains all the database independent files, means which are related to your application related exes and DLLs. SAP exedb.sar means all the database dependent. If your database is HANA database, then HANA database dependent .exes, .dlls and library files will get by using SAP exedb.sar. And exports, and finally SAP GUI. You need all these softwares to do the installation. So we'll see one by one what is exactly SWPM, what is server software, client software, everything. Ready? Yeah. So SWPM is a collection of some tools. So by using this SWPM, you can do installation. Olden days we used to use SAP Installation Master. Now by using SWPM, Software Provisioning Manager, you can do the installation of your SAP system. And you can do system copy and migration. By using same tool, you can do system copy or migration. System copy means building a new system by existing systems to database. Means, for example, you are having production system. If you want to create a new system, training system, by using production system database, by using SWPM, you can build a same similar identical system. That is what called as system copy. And migration. Migration means you are on Oracle database, you want to move to HANA database. That is what we call as migration. That also you can do by using SWPM tool. And you can rename your SID. Your SID is PST. Then you want to rename it as TST. Yes, you can do a system rename by using SWPM. I'll show you all these things today. Okay. Then finally, dual stack split. Dual stack split means previously we used to have dual stack systems in ABAP engine and Java engine, both ABAP schema and Java schema in the same database. But now SAP is not supporting dual stack systems anymore. You have to do separate. AS ABAP engine separate, AS Java engine separate. Means you need to bring ABAP schema into one database, Java schema into one database. This also we can do by using SWPM, Software Provisioning Manager. This is what your SWPM. Okay. So we'll see the differences. What the installation, the old installation master and the new tool, Software Provisioning Manager. By using installation master, you can do installation, you can do system copy. But by using Software Provisioning Manager, you can do installation, you can do uninstall, you can even uninstall your SAP system by using SWPM. You can do installation, you can do installation, you can do system copy or migration, you can rename your SID, and you can even do split. Means if you are from dual stack to single stack, you can do all these things. That is what we call it as Software Provisioning Manager. So if you want to install any SAP system, now which tool you use? SWPM, Software Provisioning Manager. Okay. So the next thing is you need Hostagent. You need Hostagent. What is exactly this Hostagent? Hostagent software you need to download. What exactly this Hostagent? So this Hostagent is installed if your kernel is 7.2 or 7.720 ext kernel. From that point onwards, This host agent software is automatically installing along with your SAP instance. You need not to install separately. So when you install your NetWeaver 7.4 or NetWeaver 7.5, ECC6 or any software, this whole host agent software will be installing along with that. What this host agent exactly has? This host agent has this host agent is used for hosting all these software logistics toolkit. Means your sum tool is there, software SWPM tool is there, and spam, saint, your TMS screen, all these screens. If you want to host these tools in a backend, you need to have host agent installed. Without host agent, these tools won't launch on your system. Remember that. This host agent contains three functionalities. One is SAP host EXEC service, SAP start SRV service, and SAP OS call service. These three services are integrated into SAP host agent. So if host agent is installed, you'll get these three services. So we have seen these services, right? If you go to services.msc, you can check all these services. SAP host control, SAP host exe. What is this exactly, this service? This service is used to launch SAP logistic toolkits. Means to start your SWPM, to start your sum. Okay, to start so many things, you need this SAP host executor. If this service is not running, your sum won't start, your SWPM won't start. Remember. So I'll show you what all the things it will start by using that host executor. Wait for 1 minute. Did I save any? Yeah. See, software logistic tools. What are the tools it is giving in that? Software provisioning manager means your SWPM, to start SWPM, software lifecycle container, and your some software upgrade manager, spam saint, NZ near zero downtime manager in your sum, and all this SAP note for implementing SAP note, CTS in your solution manager, all this landscape transformation tool, everything. To launch all these tools in a backend, you need to have what service? SAP host EXEC. How you get this service? Means by having that host agent software. So at the time of installation, it will ask you for SAP host agent software that contains three services. One is SAP host EXEC, second one is SAP start SRV, third one is SAP OS call. What is exactly SAP start SRV? SAP host is to launch software logistics tools like SWPM sum. Okay, if your sum is not working, what is troubleshoot? Check your host agent, whether host agent is installed or not, and a host agent level, what level a host agent is having. If not, you have to update your host agent. Sum is what? Sum tool, SWPM browser based tools, right? So if these are not working, the troubleshooting is SAP host agent is installed or not, and this SAP host EXEC service is running or not. You have to check these two things. And browser based means maybe your browser settings problem, your browser is outdated, or your browser security settings. You have to check these things. If your SWPM is not starting, if your sum is not starting, remember these points. So this SAP host agent contains three functionalities: SAP host EXEC, SAP start SRV, and SAP OS call. Second one is, what is SAP start SRV? Did you hear this word before this? SAP start SRV.exe. Yes,
Internal upgradation.
kernel upgradation. So what this SAP start SRV will do, it works as a service on Windows operating system, and it works as a daemon on Unix or Linux operating system. So whenever you install your SAP system, this service will be automatically installed there. And what this service will do, it will read your start profile and it will start your SAP application. So that is the reason, if your SAP system is not starting after doing kernel upgradation, what we do, one troubleshoot, just replace this old SAP start SRV file from old kernel to new kernel. That is one troubleshooting part. Second one is, you try to uninstall this SAP start SRV service and try to install it. Yes or no? Did we do these two things? Yes or no? So SAP start
Yes,
SRV
yes.
service is part of your SAP host agent only. That is the reason you need SAP host agent software when you are installing your SAP system. So why it is used means, for starting and stopping, monitoring the runtime state, reading logs, traces, configuration files, everything. For everything it will use. It will work as a service on Windows operating system and daemon as Unix operating system. So you know host exec. So if your sum is not launching, your swpm is not launching, means host exec. So remember here, SAP start SRV service responsible user is your SID ADM. When you will get this SAP start SRV service? After installation of SAP system, right? So you will get SID ADM user by that time. So this user is responsible for this service. But what about this SAP host exec? So for example, I am installing operating system first. After that, I'll start SWPM, right? To start SWPM, is SAP installed in that system? No. To install SAP software, only I am starting SWPM, right? So for this, user is a Linux operating system, Unix operating system, root user is responsible. For Windows operating system, local user, not SID ADM. Why? SID ADM user is not yet created by that time. When you launch SWM, why you launch SWPM? To install SAP system. So you don't have SID ADM user, SAP service user at that time. That is the reason, for SAP host exec service, the responsible user is root user in Linux and local system user. Though the operating system users are responsible for this. After installation, for example, you install SAP software. Okay, now you want to upgrade that software, so you have to launch some. For that also, the same user, you launch some on operating system only, right? You launch swp on operating system only. So for that, responsible user is local user. For SAP start SRV service, SID ADM user is responsible. If your SAP start SRV service is not starting, means your system won't start. Remember this. And the third one is SAP OS call. In older versions also, you have SAP OS call, operating system collector. What it will do, you install SAP on operating system. So from SAP system, you hit ST06 for operating system performance analysis, to see the analysis of utilization of RAM, CPU, and hard disk utilization, buffers utilization. What T code you hit? ST06. Then how your SAP system is getting CPU information, hard disk utilization, network utilization, file system utilization? Means in a backend, SAP OS call service will run on an operating system level background. This program will run in a background on operating system. It is not a service, remember. Now it is a background program, and it will collect operating system information. It will give to application. So operating system performance analysis, and it will collect operating system data, about operating system data, and resources of operating system, usage of virtual memory, physical memory, how much it is utilizing, and the disk utilization, CPU utilization. And also database level also, you hit DB02 space statistics. There also it will give you file systems utilization. So then also, in a backend, which service is using? SAP OS call. One important interview question here. When you hit ST06T code, all the values are null, means 0. What could be the reason? Means your SAP OS call is not running. If SAP OS call is not running, it won't give operating system information to your SAP application. That is the reason you are getting null values there. So host agent is very much important service on your operating system. It is installed along with your NetWeaver system, NetWeaver based applications. You need not to install separately. When you install your SAP system, you will get this SAP host agent by default. This contains three services: SAP host exec, SAP start SRV, SAP OS call. SAP host exec is for launching software logistics toolkits. like SWPM, some landscape transformation tool, spam, saint, S-note, CTS, all these things. SAP start a service is for to starting SAP application, for reading the logs, to trace configurations, everything. SAP OS call for operating system information collection and give it to applications. So host agent is very important on your operating system to run SAP application on your operating system. So that is the reason you need SAP host agent software. Is it clear?
Clear, sir.
Yeah. So SWPM finish. You know why SWPM? To install SAP software, to rename, to uninstall, okay, to split, to do system copy, everything. Why you need host agent means host agent comprise these three services, you know. And database server. Why we need database server? To load your business data, you need a database software in a backend, right? So that is what your database. You have to install database server. Okay, fine. You take HANA database or Oracle database, any database, MaxDB, Sybase, any database software that you need to install. Your SAP data is where the data is saving in your database only. So that is software is this database software. Then what is this Dbclient? You have to install some client software also. What is this client software? Wait, I'll tell you. For example, you install your application here and you install your database on some other machine. This is what? This is your application server, right? This is your application server. This is your database server. Now you want to connect, your application has to connect to the database, right? Your application has to connect to database. It will try to connect to the database, but it won't connect. Why? Means there is no client software. It is server, client server architecture. So who is client here? Application is client, means what? Who is requesting something to the database. Server is what? Which is processing your request and giving it back your request. It is processing your request. So you need to install. So what happens when you try to connect here? It won't allow you to connect. The connection won't establish directly. So what you need to do? You need to install one software called client software. For example, your database is what? HANA database or Oracle database. If it is Oracle database, you need to install Oracle client here. Oracle clients, it is a small software. So what happens then? Your application will connect to client. From client, it will this client will connect to the database. Like this, the communication will happen. So you need to install client software along with the database server to connect your application to database. In between intermediate software is Oracle client. If your database is HANA database, you need to install HANA client here. So what this client has means all your JDBC drivers, okay, ODBC drivers, MySQL drivers, all the .NET drive, all .NET, all these connectivity mechanisms it will have. So for example, your application is built on some Java platform, .NET platform, some other Oracle platform. So this will have the drivers so that it will talk to this application and it will, whatever the request it comes to client, it will process, it will forward that request to your database server. These two will have good communication, but this no. So this will have all these JDBC drivers, ODBC drivers, MySQL driver, .NET drivers, everything, the package, all the package this Oracle client has. So it will talk to your application and it will ask this DB server to process this request. So your application has to connect through client to database server. That is the reason you need to have client software when you are installing your SAP application to talk with your database server. Is it fine?
Yes.
Yeah, database server finished, client finished. Oh, what is IGS-exe.sar? IGS. Did you remember this IGS concept? From where we got this IGS? Previously your application, when your kernel version is, what is the your kernel version, 460C and 460D, at that time your SAP is only application server. Your SAP is only application server. It is only application server, no internet kind of thing is there. When comes to 620 kernel, when come to 620 kernel, so at that time how you used to log in into your system? Wait, I'll show you that otherwise.
Internet transport system.
Yeah, how you used to connect? You used to install ITS server separately. This is your application server. When the kernel is 460C 460D, so if you want to connect it from your system, your home laptop, to your SAP server which is installed in US, first of all you have to log into web server. That web server has to connect to ITS, internet transactional server, separate standalone server they install along with SAP. So this ITS will connect to this. From here ITS to web server to user. When comes to 620 kernel, so this ITS is integrated into SAP. Now it is called as web application server. Previously it was only application server. Now it is supporting internet transaction server, internet kind of things. That is the reason from 620 kernel we used to call it as web application server. So after 620 kernel, up to 620 kernel only ITS we have, no IGS concept. When comes to R3 4.7 enterprise edition extension 200, the kernel is 640. There they introduced IGS server, internet graphical server. So you introduced internet into SAP, but internet is having rich graphical Java pages, right? To load, to interpret all these fonts, all these images to SAP, they have introduced IGS, internet graphical server, in 640 kernel. 6 for web application server. From there onwards, this IGS, you can install standalone IGS, means you take Windows operating system and install here. You don't have IGS now, you can take a Windows operating system, on the top of that you can install IGS. So standalone IGS. From here onwards, what happens? This IGS also integrated into SAP. So now you can have IGS software integrated, as well as if you want you can install separately IGS. That is the reason this IGS.exe files and IGX helper.exe files are not integrated into your kernel. That is the reason we have to download this IGS.exe.sar, IGX helper.sar files separately. It is not integrated into your kernel. Why? Your application is installed at somewhere. Your IGS is installed at some standalone system. There you have to install this IGS.exe.sar files, right? That is the reason this IGS.exe contains all the executables which are related supporting for your internet graphical server. Then what is this IGS helper? Up to 720 kernel, 720 ext kernel, only IGS.exe.sar is sufficient. But after 720, if your kernel version is more than 720, now you are installing 7.4 or 7.5 NetFever, means your kernel is what? 740 kernel, 750 kernel. So you are more than 720 only, right? So this IGS helper is having some extra additional interpreters, additional fonts in that. So you need to add this IGS helper.sar also while you are doing installation of NetWeaver 7.4, 7.5. You got the point? These IGS files are not integrated into your kernel. That is the reason we have to download separately IGS.exe.sar. This is having all IGS functionalities. IGS helper is having some additional fonts, additional uh, graphical interpreters in that. So if you add this also, this, your performance, your graphical performance will increase. That is the reason we have to download these two files also. At the time of installation, it will ask you for Hostagent, IGS.exe, IGS helper, SAP exe.sar, SAP exedb.sar, everything. So this IGS folder is different, Hostagent installation directory is different, and SAP exe directory is different. I'll show you how it is different. Okay, and you need exports. What is this exports? If you are installing SAP ECC6, so what all the components you will get in ECC6? SAP Basis, SAP ABAP, SAP HR, SAP APPL, logistics, right? All these exports you will get from this exports to DVD. That is the reason if you are installing ERP software, you will get more DVDs. If you are installing only NetWeaver 7.4, you need all these things. And exports only you have SAP ABAP, SAP Basis, SAP BW. So you need only 3 exports. If you are installing CRM system, you need all these things. Along with that, CRM exports means CRM will have ABAP, Basis, BW and CRM component. So exports will be less. If you are installing SRM, then you need all these things. Only exports is different. You got the point? The installation is pretty much straightforward and simple. You have to start SWPM. It will you have to install database first, then start SWPM. It will ask you for Hostagent. It will ask you for IGS exe, IGS helper, SAP exe.sar, SAP exedb.sar. It will ask you for database client. And at the time of exports, if you are installing ECC 6, you have to give 11 exports. If you are installing only NetWeaver platform, you have to give 3 exports. If you are installing CRM, the only exports is changing. So according to the software, whatever you choose in SAP, for example, in this software provisioning manager, if you choose ECC6, it will ask you for 11 exports. If you choose NetWeaver 7.4, it will ask you for 3 exports. NetWeaver 7.5, it will ask you for 3 exports along with these 3. If you choose CRM software here, start SWPM, select CRM, it will ask you for some 4 exports. Only which one is changing here? Only exports is changing. The number of exports are changing. Why? Whatever the repository things you have, that is only changing. After that, SAP GUI, the same common thing. You install a presentation layer. Yes or no?
Yes.
So tomorrow you'll understand. Only the thing will change is, first thing, when you start SWPM, you have to select the software ECC, CRM or NetWeaver 7.5. If you choose NetWeaver 7.5, it will ask all these things, and finally it will ask for 3 exports. If you choose SAP ECC6, it will ask you all these things. Along with this, it will ask you for 11 exports. If you choose CRM, it will ask all these things. Along with that, some 3 to 4 exports. Only exports will change. Everything is same. Installation is same. First of all, you have to install operating system. On the top of that, you have to install database software. Then start SWPM. Select your start software, and it will ask Hostagent, IGS helper, SAP exe.sar, SAP exedb.sar, and finally it will, at the time of database installation, it will ask you for exports. Based on your software, the exports number will change. The content in the exports will change. If it is ECC, it will also have SAP HR packages, SAP APPL packages. If it is only NetWeaver, it will have ABAP package, Basis and BW. If it is CRM, ABAP, Basis, BW plus CRM component. That's it. Is it fine?
Yes.
Now tell me where you install all these things. So you have got all these things, right? Now tell me, I am having 3 layers. One is presentation layer, second one is application layer, and third one is database layer. Now SWPM, where you start your SWPM? Here.
That is first installation.
Where you install database first?
Application.
DB server.
DB.
Okay, fine. Where you start SWPM? Here, SWPM. Where you install your GUI? Here.
Presentation.
Where you give SAP exe.sar? Kernel.
Here.
SAP exedb.sar?
Application.
Host agent?
Application.
And another thing, Dbclient? And IGS helper,
Helper.
everything at application layer only. Database server. And exports,
Database.
that's it. You got the point?
Yes, sir.
Great. That's it. Your master in installation. Tomorrow we'll see the installation. Now, okay, how to download software? The main thing, how to download software. To download software, you need to go to Service Marketplace, SAP's official website, or support.sap.com, service.sap.com. Okay, go to portal and you will find software downloads. Go with the downloads. Then you'll get three options there: installations and upgrades, support packages and patches, and databases. Yeah. So you want to download a database software. Okay, go to database and select database in database where. So my database is IBM DB2, Informatics, or anything, Oracle. So whatever the data, MS SQL, Oracle, MaxDB. So all these databases. HANA database, you will get HANA database here itself in SAP in-memory database. Okay, all other databases. Okay, downloaded all the database. For example, Oracle I have downloaded. Then I need to install NetWeaver 7.5. Okay, go to alphabetical index and go to N, NetWeaver, SAP NetWeaver 7.5, installation and upgrade, and select your operating system. For example, my operating system is Microsoft and my database is somewhat Oracle. So it will give the exports here. NetWeaver 7.5 export, this one. You have to download this one. Okay, not upgrade exports, only that one. And client software also you'll get from here only. Oracle client from here, from there also you can download. Okay, fine. Now your SWPM you need to install, right? You need to download your SWPM. So you'll get it that in software logistics toolkit. Yes, go to SL toolkit option will be having there, and from installation master also you can get, I think. We'll check. SAP Anish, no, it is old one. SAP toolkit, SAP tool set, yes. There you'll get your SWPM installation. Software provisioning manager, right? Your sum also you can software provisioning manager for which operate AX, OS, NT. This one you have to choose, and OS 400 software for Solaris, Sun Solaris, and Windows. This one, Windows 64-bit. This one. Okay, HP, Unix, Linux. For each and every operating system, SWPM is different. You have to check that, and you need to download that SWPM. Like that same SAP exe.sar, SAP exedb, we have seen where to download all the things. And IGS helper, all this STP, whatever you need, you'll get from here itself. Okay. So if you want to download SAP ECC6, then go to ERP software. SAP ERP. You will get that ERP. Yes, SAP ERP. You can check the SAP ECC6 point and all the enhancement packages. If you want to install enhancement package 8, EHP 5 for ECC6, EHP 6, EHP 7, and finally you'll get EHP 8 here. EHP 8. You download this. Go this. Only see. Yesterday I told you IDAS version and production version. IDAS means International Demonstration Education version. For training purpose we use this software. If you want this, you can download this. Otherwise, go to for production software, go there. Select your database. My database is HANA database. Then you will get installation exports. 4 DVDs I am getting here. See, 1x4, 2x4, 3x4, 4x4. Just you have to download these 4 and SWPM, IGS helper, exe.sar, exedb.sar, and all the Hostagent software, everything. You get ready with all your softwares. Okay, see, I have already downloaded all my softwares here. These are the things you need, right? SAP GUI you need to download, and exports, HANA database. In that I have HANA client also, server software, client software, both. Okay, and exports. I got how many exports here? 3 exports for NetWeaver 7.5. So why only 3 exports? For ECC6 you got 12 exports. For NetWeaver 7.5, only 3. Why? You don't have HR and logistics there, so you'll have less data. And IGS.exe.sar, IGX helper, exe.sar, exe.db.sar, Hostagent, and Swpm. All the softwares I have downloaded. Now every software is having some version: Swpm 10, Hostagent, exedb, HANA database. How you know? Okay, you can search here. I need a Hostagent. Okay, SAP Hostagent. Oh, sorry. SAP Hostagent. Okay, if you don't get there, you can directly download. You can search there Hostagent. So you will get that Hostagent software. In that Hostagent also, I'll be having some 721, 720, 722. Now we are having 722. If you go into that archives, you'll be getting 720, 721. That are now deprecated. Now the advanced version is 722. You need to install advanced version when you are installing any software. Remember that. But which version I need to install? How you know? So to know that, we are having one thing called PAM, Product Availability Matrix. Which operating system is supported, which database is supported, which kernel is supported. How you check? So you should know that, right? So for that, in Service Marketplace, we are having one thing called PAM, Product Availability Matrix. Product Availability Matrix. See, go there and give your software name. Access to Product Availability Matrix. Interview question: how you check whether this operating system is supported or not? You want to install Windows operating system, Oracle database, and NetWeaver 7.5. See, here I'm having this most viewed thing, NetWeaver 7.5. If you say, you can give NetWeaver 7.4 also. Okay, I'm going with NetWeaver 7.5. See, ECC6 I want to install, EHP8 ECC6. So which operating system is supporting? So I'm going with NetWeaver 7.5. So it will ask you technical release information. Okay, which operating system you are going to use? Select your operating system. My operating system is Windows operating system. Okay, fine. Now which database you want to use? You have to select database. Which database you are using? For example, I'm going with Oracle database. Okay, which operating system? Windows operating system. And what kernel you want to use? 754 kernel. Okay, fine. Now it will give all the things. So if you want to use 754 kernel, you should use Oracle 19 software, not Oracle 12, Oracle 11, Oracle 10. And Windows Server 2016. What software, what Windows operating system we are having here? Windows Server 2012. So can I install NetWeaver 7.5 with 754 kernel on Windows Server? No.
No.
This is how you need to check. You need to check 754. Okay. If I go with 753 kernel, see what is changing. So 753 kernel supports Windows Server 2012 also and Oracle 12 also. So I can install Oracle 12, Windows Server 2012, and kernel I can use 753 kernel. And it is valid from which date to which date. So when it is expiring, everything you'll get information from here. So how you check? By using Product Availability Matrix. So if you install Windows Server 2012 and Oracle 18 is supporting, 19 is supporting, and 12 also supporting. If your kernel is 753, if your kernel changes to 754, then the Oracle should be 19 and Windows Server should be more than 12, 16, 18, and 22. Everything is supporting, right? So this is how you need to check. So for checking that, you have Product Availability Matrix, PAM. We used to call it as PAM. I'll check PAM for the supporting softwares. Don't blindly download Oracle 19 and Windows Server 2012 and kernel 753. It won't suit. It won't, all these .exes and .dlls won't compile on that operating system. So when you are downloading the softwares, you have to check all these things. Don't blindly download the software. Is it fine?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it from my end.
Yeah, yes.